We got to get into Michigan now. We're going to start with you, Jake. We're going to Michigan. Let's start with this. Both of you guys, Jake, then Trevor. Thoughts on McNamara week one?
It wasn't a clean game, and you could feel his frustration understanding the gravity of the moment. Now, what gets lost in this is his receivers didn't help him. I counted 3 drops. I counted some guys falling down. It wasn't a clean game for anybody, and you could just – I feel for him because the dude's a Big Ten champion. The dude beat Ohio State. The dude took you to the playoff, but you could feel the pressure of the moment. He needed a clean game. He needed more than a clean game, and it didn't happen. Now, I want to say this too, though. Cade, you don't need to push a guy down to elevate another quarterback. Cade isn't a bad quarterback. I don't know where this narrative started. Cade is a Big Ten champion. Cade does so many things pre-snap and post-snap from a mindset standpoint that makes him the quarterback that he is. He may not have the arm talent or the running ability of other guys, but he does a lot of things really well. You could feel the pressing and the urgency of the moment, and it just didn't result to what it needed to on the field.
Trevor, you just give me your thoughts on what you saw to him week one.
I want to expand on this. So I hope we keep talking about this for a little bit.
We are. We got time.
In week one, he looked for having all those accolades, Jake, Big Ten champion, being the starter, winning that job going into week one. He looked a little bit out of place to me. Now, yes, there's a ton of different factors. And I want to get into it in a second, but I will hold my breath here because I'll talk about my experience being a quarterback that has another quarterback, right? But yes, looked a little bit lost. I think he is a really good quarterback. And if they keep him as the starter and they say, hey, you know what? JJ's not here, I think he can be successful for that football team.
Mm-hmm.
I think those – no, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You go, Jake, go.
I just wanted to say the comments that Cade made after the game. Did you guys see those? And they kind of blew up across Twitter. People were like, man, wow, is this causing – like Cade was asked directly how he felt about the competition. And Cade straight up said, like, yeah, no, I'm not happy about it. It kind of caught me off guard. I thought what do you want a competitor to say?
I did see that.
What do you want a competitor to say? I would be more concerned if he said, yeah, I'm really happy for JJ. I can't wait for him to take my job. Like, no, hell no, man. That's not why you play the game. This is not, and you listen to the players talk, this is not a distraction within the locker room. This is all external. Cade was frustrated, rightfully so, but he's not a distraction at all in the locker room. He's the captain. Just felt the need to say that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he was put in a precarious position. I think he was put in a position where, and I guess this is my big thing. And you know what? I want to get both of you guys' reactions to this because my takeaway was, one, you mentioned it, Jake, with the wide receivers. They were not particularly conducive to helping him be successful with the drops, with the falls, like with the batting. Like, what? If the ball's right here, catch it. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's catch it. It's here. And then the other part was I understand that Harbaugh said that both guys were going to play, but in my mind, if this is the way that you're going to run this experiment, what should have happened, and actually I want Trevor to get in here on this because I think this is a quarterback focused situation. In my mind, if you're going to run this quarterback battle this way, what you need to have is this is Cade's game. We don't see JJ at all. We don't bring him in as a novelty. We don't bring him in to be successful. We don't bring him in to show the other guy up. Maybe we bring the third string guy in, but we don't bring JJ. And the same thing goes for the Hawaii game. We don't bring Cade in if JJ's inconsistent. We don't bring Cade in to like complete to dink and dunk down the field. So Trevor, how do you feel about the way that this is being conducted? Because in my mind, if this is Cade's game, it needs to be Cade's game, not Cade's game where JJ comes in and gets to kind of show out.
I think that they need to pick a starter and say, you're the guy, and pump as much confidence into that young man as they possibly can. Can they have a package for the other guy? Sure. But to play this, well, whoever's going to outplay the other one, it does not work. I've never seen it work. You can catch lightning in a bottle, and you may see some guys be somewhat successful in that. But I know as a quarterback that virtually every year of my career, I was battling it out with somebody. Right. It is very difficult to look over your shoulder every day at practice and think, all right, this next series I go in, I've got 4 plays. I have to be perfect. You can't go into a game or even a practice thinking I've got to be perfect, or the product is going to be far from it. The guys that play the best, and I think at any position, Jake, you can tell me if I'm wrong here, but especially at quarterback, is the ones that their team believes in them, their offensive coordinator believes in them, their head coach believes in them, their fan base believes in them, and they've got all the confidence in the world. Pat Mahomes, dude goes out there and just plays because Andy Reid pumps confidence into him, right? Go on down the line at some of the best quarterbacks you see. They are the guy. They get that confidence in them, and that's what allows them to be successful. I had my sophomore year was the only year that I felt like I was the guy. And even then, I had people saying, hey, watch out. Baker's going to get you next year. Baker's going to get you next year. And I had to tune that out. Every other year, it was, don't make a mistake. Don't make a mistake. Somebody else is going to go in. And it's just, you don't get to play free. And it's not the way to do it, in my opinion. I think they need to, and as tough as it is, because both these guys provide such good things for this offense, you've got to pick a starter and pump all the confidence into him in the world in order to be successful and accomplish what you want to accomplish, in my opinion.
Jake, come on.
I agree. I think energy is energy. You know, there's physical energy, then there's emotional energy. And this is an emotionally draining situation. And they're fighting it off as about as good as you can say. But regardless, it is an emotionally draining situation. Now, I don't mind it, honestly, because the way the schedule shook up, and I was at practices, it was a close battle. It was a close battle. And you're sitting here saying JJ's our 5-star quarterback. You live in the world of NIL. You live in the world of transfer portal. You have to play a political game. And there's always been politics in football because there's money in football. So you have to play a political game, and you have to look at JJ and say, hey, we're going to give you a fair shot. Cade, we're also going to give you a fair shot. Okay. We're giving you both a fair shot. Now, looking at that game, I think the fact that they play both, actually, it provided clarity. You know, when Cade's in there, they're running outside zone to the left. And say that play call, we would call it like 17 Zorro. Okay, right? An odd number means it's zone to the left. The 7 is a high number, mean it's outside zone. So when Cade hands it off, you'd watch the Colorado State defenders on the backside. Crash. They run down the line of scrimmage, and they're going to go chase Blake Corum or Donovan Edwards. They're going to go run them down. Yes. Because it wasn't 17 Zorro Reed. When JJ was in the game, those defenders that were unblocked and running down the line, I did a film breakdown of this on my Twitter. They're 5 yards upfield, both of them trying to tackle JJ, but JJ handed the ball off. That's 2 less defenders committed to stopping the running back. So he has that extra element that it's clearly clear as day on film. Even when he doesn't keep the ball, the run game benefits because the defense has to account more people to stop JJ as a run. Not only that, you're accounting more in general to stop the run, which is creating more matchups for your receivers down the field. It was just studying in preparation for the game this weekend. It's clear the stress it puts on the defense. And, you know, one thing to remember here, Jim Harbaugh was coaching the Niners and Alex Smith had them as a playoff team. And he was a damn good quarterback. And he had them winning a lot of games.
Yep.
Against all odds, Jim went with Cap because he felt Cap would bring another element. Also understanding Jim Harbaugh wants to run the ball. Okay.
Yes.
Jim wants to have a run identity. Yep. So he's been through this experience before. I think I expect JJ to have a really good game this week too.
Can I ask you a question then? So two questions, 2-part. why, if JJ's the clear cut, was it based off of this game? Or if he was the clear cut, why didn't he start the game? And on top of that, which place would you have wanted to be in? Would you wanted to be the starter like Cade was, and then go out and have somebody else come in after the kind of adrenaline and emotions at the start of the game are out? Or would you want to be the starter and set the tone? Where would you rather have sit in the game?
I'll start with this. I would say why you do it is because Cade earned the right to prove himself. And he was voted a lot the captain, and Cade earned that right and he deserved it. And I am perfectly okay with it. And the locker room's okay with it. And Cade's okay with it. As far as who would you want to be in terms of starter or bench, I'd say I would just rather be JJ because he's got the world to gain and nothing to lose. And he's got the fans behind him and he's got the rating behind him. I'd just rather be JJ in this situation because the momentum's building.
Great answer.
No, I love it, guys. Like I wrote in my notes, the offensive difference. You can call the same plays, but when you call those plays, and as you pointed out, Jake, when you call those same plays, there is a tag on the back end of those plays that JJ offers that Cade doesn't bring to the table. And I think that is important because that's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. And
what's going on, guys? Rob Doster here, the founder of the Field of 68 and the Field of 12 Media Networks. I wanted to take a quick minute to let you guys know about an exciting new project that we have been working on for the last 3 months. The Almanac, an all-encompassing preview of the 2022-23 college basketball season. We spoke with every single Division I head coach to give you a robust and accurate preview for all 363 Division I college basketball teams. We have predictions for conference finishes for all 32 leagues. We have features on the best freshmen, the best big men, the breakout stars, the coaches on the hot seat, so much more. It is 600,000 words of sheer happiness for the college basketball fan in your life. The Almanac is going to be available for digital purchase on September 26th for just $19.99, but you can pre-order it today using the promo code HOOPS and save 20%. Just hit the link in the description below.